I'm Jackie.
And I'm Ashley. Welcome to the Witching Hour.
The Witching Hour is a little extension of Dumb Witch Club where we give you a witchy quickie.
What that is we take a big topic, break it down into bite-sized pieces, and we have a little sip of something to drink.
So we have a special drink today.
Yeah.
I mean, it's wine.
I mean, it's fine.
Sometimes it's not, rarely, but sometimes
it's not.
No, it's special because you brought this over for my birthday.
Yes, I did. Happy almost birthday. Happy Lionsgate Portal.
Oh, that's true. That is today. The recording day is Lionsgate Portal Day.
Amazing.
But it is not my birthday today. But
no,
it is
soon.
not. And once this is out, my birthday will have already passed.
Yes. So wish her happy birthday in the comments, please.
Thank you. I'm going to smell this. Ooh.
I know.
Oh, lovely. Okay. Cheers.
Cheers. Happy birthday.
Oh, my. Oh, my
Right?
goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm like, lover, who are you?
I completely agree.
Grant James Vineyard Blush 2023, Ramona Valley, California.
Yes, Ramona
Hello.
is an up-and-coming wine region.
How odd.
It's very odd. I had no idea. And this is the one winery that I picked out of all the various ones. I was not disappointed, and this was my favorite.
This dry blush wine is made from Cabernet Sauvignon grapes and has a taste reminiscent of cherry limeade with savory notes of ripe melon. Okay, that is 100% correct.
It is.
And I feel a little remiss because we didn't even report on the taste. I just went straight to the bottle and read it. So, but it absolutely tastes like cherry limeade.
It does, in the best way.
But yeah, I was going to say not in a cloying, sickening, sweet way.
No.
It's very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I know they're saying it's a blush, which is different than a rosé.
Yeah.
It's just a lightened up version of a red.
Yeah.
It's very pretty color.
It's beautiful.
It's very cherry.
It is. It's the sweetest winery. The winemaker is the wife.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm. She's very good. It's so welcoming and so cute and just amazing. I highly recommend.
Well, I'm going to have to go personally.
Yes.
And
we're going to go.
I love this.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for bringing it.
Oh my gosh, so welcome. Special wine for a special person.
Thank you so much. Speaking
specialist.
of special, this is a special episode of the Witching Hour.
It is very Witching Hour. It's true to the name of the segment.
I agree, because it's going to be spooky haunted house story time.
Yes, this has been a long time coming. We've teased this here and there in some episodes, and people have been I thought you were going to say that, and we never did. And so, here's the tea. We're spilling it, the spooky tea. Okay,
so you're telling this story mainly because it's your story.
Yeah.
Technically, it's your story.
Technically.
But I was telling her earlier before we started, I've been along the way of this full story.
Obviously.
And I forgot everything that happened. So she's going to tell, and I'm going to be gagged, and this is what's happening. So go. What are we talking about?
We're talking about my house.
Your house.
Yes, my house. Yes. So Jackie and I both own historic homes.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I was thinking of this earlier. Mm-hmm. We're lucky enough.
Yeah.
We live in California. We both live in different historic neighborhoods, which is really lucky and really cool. And we're very blessed and fortunate. And I know in some parts of the country or the world, these houses wouldn't even be considered that old.
Not at all.
But for us, for here, they definitely are. They're really unique. They're very different houses, too. They're not the same style. But it's pretty cool, just that fact. So.
Yes. And and we still live very close to each other, which is a very cool thing, too.
Yeah, we're not in the same neighborhood, but we're still really close. So what year is your house?
1923.
Okay, so just a little shy over 100.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Mine's 1907, so even a little bit older than that. Yes. But anyways, blah, blah. Okay,
yes.
So your house.
So 1923.
101-year-old house.
101. Yeah, she's so cute. So, people think of, like, old places as having these energies, or you think of, like, oh, is it haunted? And that's usually one of the first questions that people will ask me. I'm sure they do the same to you.
Oh, yeah. It's the first thing people ask me when they've come to my house. Is this house haunted?
Which, you know, as we know, anything can be haunted. And some of, like, scariest things are structures or places or whatever that aren't even technically that quote-unquote old.
Totally.
Because it's about other things and it's about the land and all that stuff. But anyways, there still is, like, a lot of history to places that are old. And I knew pretty much right away that my house had something. There was spiritual energy in my home.
Yes, and just to say, my house does not. I got nothing, and my house is even older. And
I know.
There's never been a literal single thing in the house.
No.
But yours.
But mine, for sure. So,
how did it start?
So
tell.
This is where it started. So we buy the home, which is a feat in and of itself in Southern California, and we move in, and my partner travels a lot for work. So the first sort of, like, couple nights we're, like, really in there, he has to leave for work. So I'm there on my own. And typically when I am on my own is when I experience a lot of things. I don't know what it is. I don't know if spirit is like, ooh, there's no one to block us. Like, we can just get at her. I don't know what it is, but it always seems to happen that way. So one of the first nights I'm spending in the home, I'm sleeping in a different bedroom because we don't have the bed that we're getting for the other bedroom. So I'm sleeping in a different bedroom. I have my cat with me. His name is Fiero.
He's so cute.
He's cute. He's Buttercup's bestie.
Yeah,
he's naughty.
Naughty, bad, but
he's
adorable.
Naughty, but yes, very cute. So we're sleeping, middle of the night, don't quite know what time it is. The loudest sound, just bam, like somebody just took their two fists and just hit the not garage door, the closet door. And it starts rattling like crazy. They're like kind of rattly. I don't know. They're like hung on a kind of like a track, and they're really rattly. Scared the crap out of me, scared the crap out of Fiero. I sat up in bed and was like, what is that? In my mind, I'm like, well, it's an old home. Maybe it's like a little bit of like settling, but it was really loud and aggressive. Yeah. But I was like, I didn't say anything, didn't really do anything. I was just like, whoa, that was weird. Fiero kind of looked at me. I looked at him. We went back to sleep. We go back to sleep. I would say probably like 15 or 20 minutes later, it happens again. Again.
I hate it.
Loud. Wakes us up. At that point, I was like, that was intentional. I feel the energy behind that. It is meant to get my attention. It is meant to disrupt me. So I sat up in bed and I said, look, out loud. Which you can do, by the way.
And you really have to.
You have to.
So just say it out loud.
I said, look, you're not going to be doing that. That is ridiculous. You do not need to do that. I'm aware of you. That is so inappropriate, especially to do while I'm sleeping. I have to get up early. Don't scare my cat. That is obnoxious and dumb. Stop. Went back to sleep. Never happened again. It's never happened since. That has never happened since. But that's kind of where it started. Over the next few weeks, other little things would happen. I kept hearing it sounded like somebody was throwing like little objects on like a little tack or like a little piece of candy or something, and it would skitter, like the sound would like skitter across the floor. And I would look at where that was, and there's nothing there. Just nothing. Because we didn't have a lot in the house at that point. Either way, we didn't have stuff up on the walls. There was nothing like that.
Yeah, you had just moved in.
We just moved in, so there was nothing like that. And I knew that, but I still would like look. And I'm like, of course. But there was nothing there. And then
But you said it sounded and felt almost like a mischievous energy.
It did, yes. And when I was describing it, people kept saying like, oh, like a kid. But it does not feel like a child. It didn't then. It doesn't now. I've consulted with my mother, who is like very in tune with this and very good with this. And she totally corroborated what I said. And she was like, and of course tells me to trust myself, which she always does. And she was like, no, I agree. And I just don't think it's a child, but very mischievous, very kind of like just attention seeking.
Yes.
Yeah. tugged on the back of my sweater.
Yes.
When we were starting a little bit of like a garage renovation thing. It was nothing like major. We just had to kind of finish the garage. But every time we would sort of change things or start things, that's when it felt like the energy would ramp up. So one day I was standing by my altar, which is on top of like a antique sideboard that I have in the house. And I wasn't really doing any spells or anything. I was just kind of standing there. And all of a sudden, the back of my sweater, like I went backwards like this.
It moved you.
Yes, it moved me. And, of course, I was like, all right, like, this is what we're not going to do. You're not going to touch me. That's crazy.
That is actually.
I'm like, no, that's not happening. I will not allow that. Don't do that. I'm like, we're not doing anything crazy. This is what we're doing. I sort of, like, spoke about it out loud and said, we don't have bad intentions here. I'm aware of you. It's totally fine that you're here. But you can't be doing that stuff in the middle of the night, and you can't be touching me. Every time I sort of set my boundary in my intention, that particular behavior would stop.
Okay, I also just want to interject at this moment and
yes,
say that while I said a minute ago, and it's still true, that I was along the way of this story, you did not tell me these first pieces as they happened.
No, I don't think I did.
You, at the point of the sweater, is when you told me everything that had happened up until then.
Yeah, that's
And I was like, oh my God, like, how long has this been going on? Why didn't you tell me? And she's like, oh, I don't know, just like the last few weeks. Oh, I don't know. And I was like, girl. Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know why I had to mention that, but it just.
But yeah, well, and that's very us, right?
Like, well, it kind of, no, it is. I wasn't like mad or anything.
No, but it's so us. We do this all the time. Even like if you go back to fall of 2022, we talk about how whatever curse was going on and we never said anything to each other. That was just crazy.
No, you're right, and it is very us. We're just like, what? Oh, I don't know.
Just like, that's not happening, denial, until we can't anymore. And then I'm like, oh, by the way, these things are happening. And you're like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
What is going on? I know. It's crazy. And it escalated further.
It continued to escalate from there.
It did. It continued to escalate. And I'll get to those in another part. But it becomes undeniable to people who were trying to deny that it was happening. Let me just put that there. There was physical proof that people could not deny, and it got crazy.
It got bizarre, undeniable,
100.
And look, you can sit here and hear us and see that, like, we're on the same page. Like, I support her from the beginning. Like, I'm like, oh yes, that is happening. That I can't, whatever. No, there are other parties involved, close and somewhat distant.
Yes.
Who denied, would never believe any of this.
Yes.
And have had to eat their hats.
That's right. That's right. Spirit was like, oh, really? Interesting.
Okay, so
Watch this.
This is part 1.
This is part 1. That'll be in part 2, maybe 3. It'll be coming in subsequent parts.
Okay, and I also just want to say there's, like, tangible objects involved.
There are.
And lots more.
Lots more. So listen if you're curious, and if you're afraid, you should be, and come back for the next installment.
Yes.
It's good.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
Oh!
Yay! All right. Let's drink more of this. It's yummy.
Yes, it's so good. Cheers.